Obviously, Don Revie trying to get this young England side used to the atmosphere of Hampden Park, and it really is quite incredible. The ground is packed. The crowd restricted this year to some 85,000 as opposed to the usual 100,000. There are new safety regulations, but I would think at least 83,000 are committed and very partisan Scottish supporters. A real test of temperament for this very new-look English side, which incidentally has not conceded a goal, of course, in the tournament so far, having scored 5, 1 against Wales in the opening match last Saturday in Cardiff, and 4 against Northern Ireland on Tuesday. But a genuine feeling in Glasgow today that the Scottish side is the strongest that Scotland has been able to produce for many, many years. In fact, Don Revie has said they're very, very much the favourites. Unfortunately, the rain just beginning to damp the enthusiasm of this crowd. It started about an hour before the match. It fell quite heavily and it stopped until just a few minutes ago. This, the latest in a series of home international championships that began some 90-odd years ago. I think the first match was played, in fact, in 1884. And we arrive at this latest in the series between England and Scotland with the remarkable situation of 93 matches having been played. Scotland has won 36 and England 35. Kenny Dalglish retains his place in the side. He didn't play in the first match against Wales, was brought back against Ireland following Eddie Gray's injury. And now Pettigrew drops out of the side, and Eddie Gray comes back after missing the Irish match. In the Scottish side, there are 5 home-based players and 6 Anglo-Scots. Confirmation of the English team. The side named overnight by Don Revie. One change from the team that beat Northern Ireland 4-0 on Tuesday night. The return of Roy McFarland of Derby County at number 5 after injury. Brian Greenhoff would have retained that shirt, but he's got ligament trouble. He was injured on Thursday. Apparently didn't feel the injury was very serious, but when he woke up yesterday morning, the knee was swollen, and he no hope of getting fit. So McFarland, who's had hamstring trouble, it was the right thigh, comes back into the side. Had a fitness test yesterday and came through extremely well, apparently. Now, in this England side, we've got 4 Liverpool players, 2 from Derby County, and then there's 1 from Manchester United, 1 from Ipswich, 1 from Queen's Park Rangers, Mick Channon from 2nd Division Southampton, and from the 3rd Division, Peter Taylor of Crystal Palace. The roar for the appearance of the teams. Number 11, Eddie Gray, Jordan's Leeds United clubmate. Roy McFarland, he'll be delighted to be back. His right hamstring has been the trouble, but Roy is highly respected by Don Revie. The game that will decide the 1976 British Championship. That's mixed mills now for England. A major test of temperament for this young English side, and really Scotland will be able to see today whether they've really got the makings of an outstanding team, as so many Scottish officials, supporters, players and managers in this country believe. They really believe they've got the makings of a good side.
Peter Taylor's there, Kevin Keegan's there, Mike Shannon is waiting. Hit in straight, and Ruff didn't know anything about that. Well, the ball must have bounced very quickly up at him, and Ruff was in a bit of trouble there. Well, a funny old save that puts him under pressure. Mills with the throw for England. Kevin Keegan trying to jockey his way past McGrain, and he's won a corner for England. The sign for Rough perhaps to be under more pressure. Thompson has come up, McFarlane has come up. England with something like 8 men in and around that Scottish penalty area as Peter Taylor takes this corner for England. Hit low this time, and Scotland get it away. Mills to Todd. McFarlane. Francis. Todd again, casually back to Thompson. Put through there for Gerry Francis. Tackled hard by his Queen's Park Rangers clubmate Don Masson. And here's Eddie Gray. Archie Gemmill. Keegan stopped that one. Shannon is lurking there to help, but got in the way in the end. Scythe. And Donachie. And Joe Jordan. Donachie. Eddie Gray. Colin Jackson. To Danny McGrain for Scotland. Masson's in unmarked position there in the box. Well, England can't afford to allow that to happen too often. Took up a beautiful position there. Jack Charlton.
That was a good move by Don Masson. He took up a very good position, a good ball in there. He didn't catch it quite right, or England really could have been in trouble.
McGrain for Scotland. Phil Thompson's header away. Don Masson. Jordan. Oh, that time Thompson was in first. Laid to Peter Taylor. Stuart Pearson over on the far side. Here's Mills. Thompson. Good sliding challenge by Forsyth. The Rangers fans in the crowd enjoyed that, but here's Todd now. Offside against Pearson and against Taylor. Big Tom Forsyth, the number 4 there. Of Rangers, criticised by Tom Docherty in the middle of the week, who said that he was a Clydesdale as opposed to a thoroughbred like Martin Buchan. Well, they both missed that. Here's Jordan. And again, Francis in quickly, reading that situation well before Gemmill could get onto it. Furious opening pace here. Donachie now lifting the ball. Masson's gone up into that England penalty area once again. And Gray was brought down by Todd and a free kick to Scotland. They brought big Colin Jackson up on the far side. Joe Jordan, brilliant header of the ball on the far side also. England coming back now. They've brought everybody back, in fact, inside their own area. Floated in there deep, a long way, and Clements saving well from Kenny Dalglish, and Clements furious in the way that Dalglish and a couple of other Scots were allowed in there. Jack.
He was entitled to be angry here because he was allowed to run free Kenny Dalglish when he really should have been picked up. Phil Thompson, in fact, took under the ball instead of going attacking it.
So England in this opening 5 minutes have been under a bit of pressure. A shot from Masson, a header from Dalglish, both of which called for something from Clements. But here's Keegan now for England. To Mills. To Thompson. Shannon, glancing header, but Pearson had moved out to the right-hand side. McGrain. Beautiful sunshine now in Glasgow. And a pitch that is very good indeed after the rain. Jordan for Scotland. Feet too high, play on though, said the referee. Rioch going through, only half stop. Masson is there. Referee doing well, allowing the play to go on. Gemmill, a sweeping pass here now to Eddie Gray. Todd is closing on him. Gray, miskick. Francis for England. Todd played short for Keegan, who seems to be everywhere. Shannon away up front, offside.
Scotland are pushing them very quickly and playing offside, and then they're going to have to watch the way they run, especially the front men turning off and running. It's got to be somebody from the middle of the field, or Shannon staying a little bit deeper.
Colin Jackson with the free kick for Scotland. Mills. Pearson coming off quickly, but it's with Archie Gemmill. Jordan's up ahead of him. Still with Gemmill. Free kick. Foul by Francis. This is the tackle.
He left it just a little bit late there. It was a bad tackle by Jerry Francis.
Now Rioch and Masson are over this. That's Gemmill doing a bit of organising there. Rioch, who has a tremendous left foot shot. Masson might well play the short one to him. Lifted it, in fact. There's the shot.
It's interesting the way they took that one, Brian. He lobbed it in the air. Obviously wanted him to play a volley, a dipper over the top. He just played a little bit too far away from him, but Bruce Rioch's left foot's lethal, and he just didn't get hold of it and hit the target.
England ball. Kennedy with a throw. Pearson. Kennedy playing it back for Mills. Shannon's header again, but all he did was give it away to Masson. Mills again. Kennedy, a touch inside this time for Francis. Good ball there to Pearson, played back for Shannon. Looks better for England, this. Taylor was scurrying through, but it came off Colin Jackson. Dalglish, the touch now for Eddie Gray. Forward for Joe Jordan. McFarlane right with him. And tackling him after the ball had gone, and the referee was quick to spot it. Free kick already taken, and it's with Gemmill. Francis sticking with Gemmill. And this time a foul by Archie Gemmill. Well, one or two tackles going in, Joe.
Well, Jerry Francis got the first one in, and Archie Gemmill retaliated just a little bit there. He was very late in going for the ball.
And Francis, in fact, is down. And the play will go on with Mick Mills. Francis on his feet and hobbling. McFarlane for England. Mick Mills. It'll come for Kennedy. McFarlane. Keegan. Looking for an opening. None available. Back to McFarlane. Shunted forward this time to Mike Shannon. Mills now to Pearson. Keegan. Free kick. Brought down by Kenny Dalglish. Taylor and Kennedy. Pearson making a run towards the near post, but it came off Danny McGrain, who couldn't have been more than 4 or 5 yards from the ball. Mick Mills. A better time run there by the England front runners, but it's come to nothing again. Masson for Scotland. Cut out quite easily, though, by Colin Todd. Francis. Shannon right up there. Gemmill. And a good interception there by Roy McFarlane. A gap opening up ahead of him. Taylor away on the left. Here's Peter Taylor. Played nicely there. Look at McFarlane's run here. And a chance to cross it in again towards Shannon. Goal! McFarland, the architect of a brilliant opening goal for England, scored by Mick Shannon. Jeff Charlton.
Ryan McFarland did extremely well here. He kept going for this ball. It started to move and kept running for it. He fell off the tackle brilliantly there. The cross was obvious he was going to play it in with his right foot, and I thought the Scottish left back just left his man a little bit here. A perfect header by Mick Shannon, the sort that we look for from him.
So England get that vital first breakthrough with 11.5 minutes gone. After Scotland had had more of the play in that opening 11 minutes. So now a test of their character as Forsyth plays it back to Rough, and certainly a test of the calibre of this young Scottish goalkeeper. McFarland. Here comes Scotland. Played inside for Danny McGrain. Hit low, and it was Phil Thompson who got that away for England. Kennedy, Keegan. The ball out of play. Scotland's throw. Rioch. Oh! Very nearly an own goal by Phil Thompson. The two Liverpool men there, Clements and Thompson, patting each other, but they know just how close that was.
This is what you call a centre-half's nightmare, a ball coming off the deck just in front of you as you go for it. He was very lucky that he didn't score an own goal.
So it's a corner for Scotland. Hassan's going to take it. Floated in there once more. Oh, against the crossbar there from Joe Jordan. Jack?
Said Joe would cause some problems, and this is where he's most dangerous, competing in the air for balls like this. Just on top of the bar. Actually, it was a foot out. A foot lower, and he still would have hit the bar.
So, a goal kick to England. At the moment, precariously holding on to this one-goal lead given them by Mick Shannon. Holding on by their fingertips at the moment. Scotland coming hard at them again. But Todd back to Ray Clements, who's had so much more to do than Alan Rough at the other end, and yet it's 1-0 to England. Mills. Jack.
England are using Taylor in a very interesting way. They're letting him start on the right, but operate right across the middle of the park, behind the front two, even as far out as the left wing. Kevin Keegan's pushing up, and they're playing a very lucid and fluid 4 across the middle or 4 up front, which they can change to very quickly.
Jackson now to Donaghy. Played out here for Eddie Gray. Joe Jordan. There's Keegan. Safely back again to Clements. Mills to McFarland. Francis. Mills, Pearson jumping well there. Francis making a good break. But it's Shannon, in fact, who finds Pearson again for England on that far side. A little burst of speed and not a bad cross, but just a little too far. Taylor can't get in there, but it's a corner off Eddie Gray. Pearson taking a knock on the far side, is down injured in the Scotland penalty area. As Peter Taylor waits to take this corner. The referee ignoring Pearson and saying get on with the game. No, he's decided that maybe Pearson needs a bit of attention. So your early impressions, Jack?
Well, Scotland have really no patterns emerged from Scotland's play, except they've thrown a few balls into the box and they've had a couple of good chances. It's not been their day up to now. England's, on the other hand, have looked as if they've got some pattern to work on. The front three are operating and changing position very quickly, causing them quite a lot of problems. Kevin Keegan is operating in the midfield central position alongside Trevor Francis, and no one's picking up the right-hand side. They'll have Colin Taunton to push up on Eddie Gray there. And it's interesting because any one of these two in the middle is going forward to support the front three. And I'll go past them, and it's interesting to see how it'll work.
Les Cocker there giving some instructions to Roy McFarland. Pearson's all right to go on, rather gingerly testing those feet on that Hampden Park turf again. And Taylor with the corner for England. Hit in once more, not very far away. Francis only half hitting that. McGrain for Scotland. Keegan, a little touch there, filling in very nicely when Mills for a moment lost him. And here is Scotland again. Dalglish playing it back for Masson. Floated in again towards Kenny Dalglish. And Phil Thompson was there for England. And Mills can get it away to the safety of touch. McGrain with the throw. Dalglish on the run. It'll come now to Joe Jordan. For Kenny Dalglish, stopped again by Mick Mills. Turned in once more there towards Eddie Gray. Goal kick. No, he's given a corner. Jackson up there, number 5, number 8, Don Masson. Eddie Gray with his corner. Floated in once more. And it's there! Scored by Masson! Is the man who scores the equaliser.
That was a terrible goal from England's point of view. Too many people stood watching the ball, no one went and attacked it. Don Masson took it off the top of his head here, didn't really know where it was going, but it fitted in the corner. And look at all the England players stood in front of Clements. Terrible goal.
So 1-1. Brilliant start to the game with about 18 minutes gone. McFarland now to Thompson. And suddenly all the banners are out again. Thompson forward now to Shannon. Now Gemmell. Now listen to the roar. Masson right through the middle again. Keegan coming back hard. Dalglish. And Clements. Shannon, but giving it to McGrain. A muddle there between the Scottish defenders. But here's Gemmell, and now Donaghy. Gray, Francis after him, fair challenge. Keegan. Mills striding through the middle of the field for England. Shannon didn't react quite quickly enough. Dalglish, onside Joe Jordan, and Thompson back. Good piece of defensive play there by the big Liverpool man. Jordan looked to be through there for a moment. Thompson stopped him. Mills. Pearson chasing it, Forsyth going with him. Out of play, throw to Scotland. Danny McGrain. To Kenny Dalglish. Here's Don Masson again. What a hit he's been in these home internationals. He's revitalised Scotland in the middle of the field. And he scored a couple of important goals. One against Ireland last Saturday, and the equaliser here against England this afternoon. Really establishing himself now in this Scotland side. McFarland for England. Mills in space on the far side. Shannon playing it inside for Keegan. Francis. Kennedy. Well, he's lost it. Gemmell. Oh, Thompson in very quickly indeed. Keegan now. Francis. Here's Phil Thompson to Roy McFarland. Shannon cut out beautifully though by Rioch for Scotland. Now Todd going in hard. Gray got there first. Thompson for England. Forsyth's header. Pearson trying to get away from McGrain. Mills to Francis. A little chip forward there. Keegan just nicking it away and then saying to Peter Taylor, get out of my way. So Kevin Keegan still. Taylor now to Todd. Here's Phil Thompson coming up fast. A little chip to the far side. What a great ball there. And Kennedy made nothing of it. Jack?
A little bit disappointed in Ray Kennedy up to now. He's not stamped any sort of authority on that left-hand side of the field at all. And Peter Thompson hasn't come into the game as much as I thought he might. Kevin Keegan's working his head off.
Now Gemmell for Scotland. Dalglish right up with him, and a good saving challenge and a fair one there by Roy McFarland. Mills. Cut out again by Jackson. Gemmell to Gray. Todd again closing on him. Gemmell back for Willie Donachie. Joe Jordan waiting in the middle there, but Donachie going on his own. There's Jordan. Dalglish. Jordan, chance for a shot. Thompson now for England. Todd. Francis. Free kick to Scotland, foul by Pearson on Forsyth.
Just a point to watch for when Eddie Gray gets the ball on the left-hand side where Colin Todd pushes him. He's making him go inside all the time, which is really the only way to play Eddie Gray, to keep him going across the field, because you can't let him go down your outside.
Masson. Played forward by Eddie Gray on the far side now to Kenny Dalglish. Jordan in the middle. Gemmell coming in fast. Oh, that was so close. Clements didn't grab that at all. That would have been down to the goalkeeper, I think, if that one had gone in. Todd for England. Offside, said the linesman, and that looked very debatable. Here's the chance at the other end.
Yes, Ray Clements was a bit careless with that one. It was a long way from Joe, and he made it look a chance when it really wasn't a chance for him.
McGrain for Scotland, who are making the chances as the score stands at 1-1 with 25 minutes gone. Good interception there by Francis, and here's Todd. Peter Taylor. Keegan. Mills. Now Kennedy. Short one to Shannon. Running at the defence and running into trouble. And here's Masson for Scotland. Donaghy. Scotland playing well. Jordan. Rioch. There's the cross again, but that should be Clemence's, no problem.
Peter Taylor's been content just to get on balls and knock them off to people. I think he's got to show a little bit more aggression in this. His real strength is going at people and taking them on. And he's got to do a little bit more of this.
Well, here's Thompson for England, and here's Kennedy. McFarlane. Keegan. Francis. Phil Thompson. A long, long ball to Stuart Pearson on the far side. Mills. Chance to lift one in perhaps now. Gray is the man back. Helped by McGrain. And Rioch only half getting that away. And that's going to be a corner. So England will spring a few men forward now. McFarlane saying I'm staying back and telling Colin Todd to go up. Phil Thompson is going up also, as you can see. And there might be a bit more pressure on Alan Rough, this 24-year-old goalkeeper from Partick Thistle. Peter Taylor with a corner for England. Hitting again there, that time Rioch got it away. And Dalglish for Scotland. Kennedy just giving it enough movement to find Roy McFarlane to stop that Scottish attack. Francis, oh, given away, Gemmell. Jordan. Rioch. Dalglish is in there, here's Gemmell, played back again to Rioch. Played again to Gemmell. Donaghy making the play. Played again to Rioch. And that went off Thompson, but an offside given. Well, all a matter of timing there.
The midfield was where we said this game, the key was held. And at the moment, Scotland are winning the midfield slightly. I think England's need for another strong midfield player is obvious in this game now.
Pearson, Shannon trying to get away again. Well, when you look at the substitutes available to them, other than goalkeeper Shilton, Mike Doyle, Gordon Hill, Trevor Cherry and Joe Royle, I wonder where that aggressive midfield player is going to come from. Mills now, perhaps Jack will tell us in a moment. Peter Taylor. Masson for Scotland. McFarlane. Now Gemmell. Keegan pouncing on that one. Todd. Shannon inside and Francis inside. Here's Shannon. Todd, I don't think will have an earthly hope of getting to that one. Where's the midfield man coming from, Jack?
Well, he's got Trevor Cherry on the bench. And Trevor's a good competitive lad who'll chase and run and win balls for you all day. And this is the sort of person I think England, especially in this game, are going to need.
Pearson turning that ball in, Rough taking it. Well, he took a good deal more than 4 steps there. Foul by Kennedy on Rioch, free kick to Scotland. Half an hour gone, 1-1 we stand. Mike Shannon for England and Don Masson for Scotland. Donaghy with a long, long cross there towards Joe Jordan. He's won it in the air. He could win it in the air again, but he couldn't put it past Clemence.
Joe Jordan's doing exactly here what Joe Jordan can do so well: show aggression, push people on balls, go attack him again. He was dead and lucky there because he was only a yard out of scoring a good goal.
Mills for England. Phil Thompson. Todd. Kennedy. Shannon making a break. Showing good skill on the ground, and looked like a fair challenge that by Archie Gemmill. Shoulder to shoulder, free kick already taken. Peter Taylor now with a deep cross there. Pearson jumping at the goalkeeper, can't possibly be allowed. Although Keegan whacked it in, never a moment of doubt that Pearson was in fact jumping at the goalkeeper. There you go.
Yes, he turned away from the ball, it was a foul.
Mills, Taylor, stopped by Rioch. And there we had the first little clue that Peter Taylor maybe would be prepared to run at people. Here he is again. Oh, looked a late challenge by Rioch on Mills. Throw to Scotland. Surprisingly going a long way and finding Kenny Dalglish. Gemmill. Donaghy. Shannon just couldn't quite get to that one. Mills in. And McFarlane very coolly bringing it away out of trouble for England. And the short pass to Keegan. Well, Keegan was downed, I think. In fact, it's a throw given to Scotland. The ball must have been fractionally out of play. Masson then. Forsyth making a move forward. Pearson just getting it away for England. Here's Francis. Forsyth after him. Oh. Free kick to England. And here's Keegan. Mills. Kennedy, who has shown very little, as Jack says. McFarlane floating in again towards Pearson. Good bit of control there. Tom Forsyth getting it away for Scotland. But the whistle had gone for an offside.
That was probably the first mistake in midfield that Don Masson's made in this game, actually. He's certainly, for me, the best player on the park in the opening half an hour.
Here's McGray. That's a goal kick. Donaghy. Shannon, nice ball now for Keegan. Pearson waiting in the middle. Taylor's right in there too. And the deflection could so easily have got into the goal. Instead it went behind. And it's a goal kick. A bit of interpassing and understanding there between Shannon and Keegan. Taylor arriving late on the scene in what could have been a very effective position, but it's a goal kick. Alan Ruff with it for Scotland. Francis. Good control there by Francis, shrugging off Rioch as well. Keegan. Mills. Pearson on the far side. Good cross coming in again towards Shannon. But here's Gemmill. Donaghy. Forsyth. Giving Donaghy a bit of stick there for not getting the ball away. Masson finding McGray. Just under 10 minutes to go to half-time now. Masson on the ball again for Scotland. Kennedy. And now Keegan. Danny McGrain with a throw. No, he's going to leave it to Masson. Back it goes to Alan Rough.
England have had a lot more of the ball in this half. But their build-up has been very slow and laboured at times.
Now Gemmell. There's the shot, wide of the goal.
On the other hand, Scotland, when they break very quickly, and the midfield are prepared to run at the England back four, just as Archie Gemmell did there, and caused them a lot of problems. This is Archie's strength, running like this. I was surprised he didn't go on a little bit further, because Phil Thompson looks as if he had committed himself to the shot a bit early.
Ray Clements, goal kick for England. McGrain's header. Phil Thompson, Jerry Francis. Trying to shake off Gemmell and did so well. Mills to Taylor. Francis again. McFarlane. Taylor. Kennedy. Taylor. Pearson's gone outside him. No foul, said the referee. Jordan after this one. Todd gets a thump in the back and a free kick to England. And here's Francis. Quite a battle there with Archie Gemmell in the middle of the field. That was Rioch's trusty left boot getting it away, but not to any advantage to Scotland.
Actually, it would have been a tremendous ball if Rioch had given that where he wanted to hit it. He pulled it a little bit too much, but Joe Jordan was in a great position out here on the left side.
Now McFarlane. Mills. Pearson running over it. Here's Colin Jackson. Keegan in again. Free kick to Scotland. Gemmell. Donaghy. Eddie Gray. In fact, Todd allowed him to go down the line that time and had to give away a corner.
I don't think he had much choice really there. Eddie attacked him on the outside and made the space for himself.
Well, they brought Jackson up again. Dalglish is in there. Masson is in there once again. Nobody picking up Masson, and Jordan's header once more. He's dynamite in the air, Jordan, when they take those corners. He's hit the crossbar once. He got in first with that header then. Wasn't far away from that post.
It's probably the fact that McFarlane has been out of the game for a long time. This is the first time he's played for a while, and his timing in the air on these crosses doesn't look very good at all.
Jerry Francis backward header. Stuart Pearson, got low to that. With 5 minutes to go to half-time, got a bash behind the ear, I think it was, from Colin Jackson there. Free kick to England. Goal kick. Jordan, a constant menace. McFarlane watching him close. Phil Thompson watching him closely. And Kennedy beaten in the air again by Bruce Rioch, sending Danny McGrain on his way again for Scotland. As the Blues come forward once more. Joe Jordan there with a header, and he tried to nick that into the path of Eddie Gray. And that would almost certainly have been a second goal for Scotland had he done so. Pearson, good control there. A nice little pass for Taylor. Play on, good advantage played there by the Hungarian referee. Pearson. Throw to England. Peter Taylor will take it. Pearson again trying to run away from Jackson to get that yard. Flicks it now for Francis. Now a shot by Francis over the top. Made a nice little angle for himself there, Gerry Francis. Really competing in the middle of the field. I know Jack was saying that the Scots have the edge there, but it isn't for the competitive edge of Gerry Francis. Made a nice yard for himself there, Jack.
Yes, he did. I thought the ball should have been really a clip for Kevin Keegan, who you can see on the right of your picture. The shot was really, the angle wasn't good for a shot from there.
Eddie Gray winning it now for Dalglish. Jordan still waiting in the middle. McFarlane there, stumbled, picked himself up again. Great pro that he is, looking up even under pressure, but then he gave it away almost. Thompson. Shannon. Peter Taylor. Now this is the situation he likes, taking him on. Except that McGrain got the better of him. Masson playing it forward now. A nice touch from Eddie Gray and Todd in there before Jordan.
First essential when Peter Taylor runs at people, usually for him, is to knock the ball past them and then use his aggression to get past after the ball. He didn't go at that with any confidence at all that time. And this is the way he's played the game, without a real lot of confidence.
Mills to McFarlane. Phil Thompson. Just about 2 minutes to go to half-time. 1-1 the score. Shannon for England, Masson for Scotland, the scorers. Pearson chasing after this one. Jackson of Rangers at Scotland staying right with him. And Pearson in a spot of trouble. Making a sign to the bench. And now Masson. Dalglish. Masson again. Dalglish again. Masson again. Brought down by McFarlane, free kick. Taken already by Masson because he spotted Eddie Gray on the far side. McGrain going fast on the outside. Gemmell. Now McGrain. And an offside given against Dalglish. And at the other end of the field, Stuart Pearson is off the field.
I think Stuart Pearson's probably going to struggle a little bit now. He's gone off the field down here at the bottom.
And I would think that could well mean an appearance for Joe Royle.
I'd like to see Joe Royle in there a little bit, because the two Scottish centre-backs have given the two England forward people a bit of stick. It's time Joe gave them a bit.
In fact, he's taken quite a knock, I think, Pearson. Oh, but here's Francis for England. Shannon waiting in the middle. Francis, oh! Just a yard wide. But a corner. Frustration there showing on Gerry Francis's face. He wriggled through into such a good shooting position.
I can't understand Mick Shannon's reaction here when Gerry Francis goes inside and hits the ball. He turns round and he's not pleased, but Gerry did exactly right there.
So a corner to England. Peter Taylor with it. Joe Royle, in fact, has already got his tracksuit off and will be coming on in a moment, although we're right on half-time as Taylor takes this corner. Masson gets it away. Ray Kennedy there for England. We're now into injury time at the end of the first half. Masson. Oh, here's a great chance for Scotland now. Dalglish is right up there, going hard. Still going hard. No penalty. The penalty not given, and I think England might have been a bit lucky to escape with that. There we go. Does he take the man?
No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
He didn't touch him.
Referee absolutely right. I was in the wrong. Half-time whistle, 1-1. Don Masson, the scorer for Scotland. Mike Shannon, the scorer for England. We take a short break, and after that we get the views of Lou Macari and Dave. Well, welcome back here then to Hampden, where we are still being entertained by numerous bagpipes with the sight of numerous Scottish banners right round the ground. Jack, if I can ask you first of all, it's quite obvious that Joe Royle is going to come on now for Stuart Pearson. One, what effect will that have? And two, do you think Don Revie might make a second substitution, maybe Cherry for Kennedy?
I think he'll make a substitution eventually for Kennedy, but Joe Jordan will make a difference up front because England have no aggression in the middle up there, really. Pearson's a holder off, but he's not a big, strong lad like Joe. He's probably one of the most awkward centre-halves to play against in the game, and he's had a tremendous season for Manchester City. And I personally am glad to see him in the team.
Well, the Scottish team's coming out again now. 45 minutes away from deciding the home international championship of 1976. The score at 1-1. And indeed, Trevor Cherry is on the field.
Well, we thought Trevor Cherry might come on, but Kennedy's still on. I don't know who he's taken off yet. Is it Peter Taylor? No, Peter Taylor's on.
Mike Shannon's on. I thought it was...
Joe Royle's on.
Perhaps they've got 13 on, Jack.
Maybe they've got the extra man, yeah. I haven't spotted it yet.
Jerry Francis, I think, is on. No, Jerry's there. Right, well, let's start the second half then and try and work it out by process of elimination. And here's Bruce Rioch for Scotland, standing at 1-1. So Rioch with the throw for Scotland. And McFarlane getting in first, and here's Kennedy. Keegan after this one. Shannon's right up there with him. Here's Kevin Keegan. Oh, and the chance almost came there for England, and it might still... No, the whistle had gone. Jackson's header away. And Thompson to Mills. And McFarlane quite content to let that one go through to Ray Clements. Keegan, and now Kennedy. Mills. Masson. And Shannon's after this one. Keegan's offside, the flag's up on the far side. Kennedy. Oh, he's given that away. If Dalglish can get there first, Clements is there. A foul by Dalglish on the English goalkeeper, though. Well, we've misled you a bit. I thought Joe Royle was on for a moment, but he's not, because it's just Trevor Cherry who's on for Stuart Pearson. Well, it took us a little while to sort that out, Jack, but I think we've done. I think we've done it now. We can tell you certainly, without fear of contradiction, that at least it's 1-1. And here's Francis now for England. Now Thompson. Taylor. Played forward again there, but Scotland closing very quickly, and it's Donaghy. Long ball forward there, McFarlane versus Joe Jordan, and Jordan's got past him. Todd really coming back hard, and still he got it in there to Kenny Dalglish. Could be very interesting. Say no! Between his legs a goal! Ray Clements prostrate on the ground. He probably makes one mistake a season like that, and it happens to come at Hampden Park. Dalglish, the scorer. Terrible mistake by Clements.
Great Joe Jordan here. Looked up and didn't put the ball where he wanted to play it. Back across the middle of the park. Kenny Dalglish did well here. A lot of people would have had a smash at him, but he didn't. He controlled it and made his chance. He's very lucky to get away with it. It goes right between Clements' legs. Unfortunately for Dave, what a shame.
Scotland 2, England 1. Ray Clements, well, a heartbreaking afternoon for him. Can you cut out the studio sound? Francis now. That will give Scotland just the impetus they wanted. And now McFarlane. Cherry there first, but Shannon is offside. Donaghy, Jordan had such a big part in that second Scottish goal. Whistle gone, free kick to Scotland. Jack?
An unfortunate way, actually, to go behind in a game like this. It's been very, very close and very tight. Probably Scotland have just had the edge, and they've got the break there. We've all expected the break like that to come at the other end with Rough, in fact. But he's done quite well at that and what he's had to do.
Donaghy now waiting to line up this free kick for Scotland. Kenny Dalglish, the man who scored that second goal, number 7 in that England penalty area again. Jordan in there, but McFarlane asserted himself there. Now it's Keegan with that busy stride of his, offside against Shannon. No doubt about it either. Shannon just cannot get away from this Scottish defence. Now coming forward quickly with great efficiency and catching him offside.
You can't turn off the back man. Centre forwards can't turn off and run. It's got to be someone else.
Now it's with Eddie Gray for Scotland. Singing all around Hampden Park now. Archie Gemmill. Lifted in again towards Jordan. Clements a safe catch. A throw to Peter Taylor. Rioch closing down on him. Kennedy. And here are Scotland again with McGrain. Dalglish. Cherry. McFarlane. Francis. McFarlane. Played for McMills. Forward to Mike Shannon. Nice touch there for Kennedy, but he's lost it. Really hasn't been able to do a thing right this afternoon, Ray Kennedy. And now it's Archie Gemmill. Eddie Gray. Rioch. And now McGrain. Clements came and stopped, and the ball eventually wanted off Eddie Gray. Good decision again by the referee. Really hasn't missed anything this afternoon.
Just looking at Roy McFarlane there, he looks to be struggling just a little bit on that hamstring. I've watched him rubbing it a few times, and if that goes, then they're really in trouble.
Todd. Keegan. It's a free kick. Jerry Francis curled in towards Shannon. Good, swift tackling, very positive defensive play again by Scotland, by Colin Jackson, the number 5. Masson doing some organising there, as you could see. Taylor with the throw for England. Scotland leading by 2 goals to 1. Shannon. And that came, in fact, and was put behind by McGrain for an English corner. Mike Doyle, in fact, is warming up beneath us, which suggests that Roy McFarlane really is struggling. And maybe Doyle will come on in place of McFarlane. Taylor, though, will take this corner for England. Played a little wider this time. Todd closing in on it for England. Phil Thompson. A little chip through there. Trevor Cherry was almost, well, would have been on the end of it. Instead of that, Scotland are breaking away again through Don Masson. Eddie Gray. Linesman flagging on the far side, ball out of play. Todd. Todd again. Keegan let that go, but Rough, no problem. Gray for Scotland. Forsyth. Gray. McGrain. Forsyth. Gemmill. Donaghy. Russ coming in again towards Joe Jordan, but it was Phil Thompson whose header got it away for England to Peter Taylor. Todd. And McFarlane allowing it go through to Ray Clements. Mills. Francis. Given away badly there to Eddie Gray. Scotland's throw.
Scotland have adopted a much more positive attitude since they got that goal now. And if they keep this up and keep coming forward and playing, I can't see them winning this game at all.
Now McGrain for Scotland. Eddie Gray. Bruce Rioch. Played in nicely for McGrain. Defended it well, and Kewell also, but the linesman had got his flag on.
This linesman's been very quick with his flag, and I think he's been a bit ambitious there because he didn't look offside to me on his run. And the linesman was very late in putting his flag up.
Thompson to Francis. McFarlane. Kennedy. McFarlane again. And now Mills. Cherry. McFarlane. Cherry again. Could have been in trouble, but got out of it well. Here's Francis. Playing it into Shannon. He tried a little back heel, but Jackson cut it out again. McFarlane once more. Francis. Mills has gone wide down this side. Again, the referee played a good advantage. Mills caught in two minds there, didn't know what to do. Again, very positive play by Forsyth on that occasion. Francis. What a beautiful ball there now for Cherry, if he can reach it. No. On this rain-soaked turf, it was always flying away from him. The idea was a beautiful one.
England's build-up is slow now. It's getting worse, slower and more ponderous. I think it's time for a change. Joe Royle's got to be brought on and pushed up front, and we've got to start hitting him with the ball in that box. I'm hoping to get something off it, because they're getting nothing the way the game's going at the moment.
Mind you, it's a gamble that he'd have to take, because he's allowed two substitutes. He's made one already with Trevor Cherry. If he puts Joe Royle on and Rory McFarlane gets worse with his injury, then he might be in trouble. Here's Todd. Now McFarlane. Now Mills. Given away again. Shannon. Nice touch. Peter Taylor. Offside. Do you feel Don Revie has this quandary about the substitution, Jay?
I think he'll leave it a while yet and see how Roy goes, but I'm sure that eventually he's going to take a chance and be positive and go for this other goal.
Phil Thompson. Kevin Keegan. Jackson playing it back to Donaghy. Back it comes again to Alan Rough. Well, he's done nothing wrong so far. McGrain. What have now the second half gone? Scotland 2, England 1. Mills. England running up so many blind alleys at the moment, they really can't sort themselves out. They look a pretty disorganised side at the moment since they went 2-1 down. And a far cry from the side that promised so much when they went 1-0 up. Francis. Keegan. Peter Taylor, well, he might take a chance here, no. In fact, it's a free kick to England. The feet were too high there of Jackson on Taylor.
He's been a big fine player, that Colin Jackson, today. He's done a good job. Both centre-backs have better than I thought they would.
Trevor Cherry will take the free kick for England. Shannon making a run towards the near post. It's left a gap there for Kennedy to get the header in. And again, Thompson's header too. Again, Jackson is there for Scotland. Dalglish, a nice cushion header there. Beautifully directed there to Archie Gemmill. Gray playing it on for Gemmill again as Scotland comes surging forward once more. Ball still in play. Masson waiting in the middle. McFarlane's header though. And a corner for Scotland. McFarlane, the number 5, struggling just a little bit, it seems, with that hamstring injury, but it was Trevor Cherry who got that one away. Gemmell's trying to spray it wide again once more, but the ball out of play. Goal kick to England. Oh, he's given a free kick on the far side. Colin Jackson is the Scottish defender who's down inside the English penalty area. Taylor, Thompson. Shannon. Kennedy wasn't really alive to that at all. Now here's Kennedy again for England. Shannon, Mills making a good run down here for England. Well, Rioch, no nonsense about that challenge. A throw to England, which McMills will take. Danny McGrain. Don Masson to Kenny Dalglish. And Kennedy turning it to McFarland. A touch for Thompson. A touch for Jerry Francis. Onside. Not that it'll do him a lot of good. Alan Rough right out there. Well, the crowd will love that. Dribbled round Kevin Keegan, but Keegan's got it back again. Trying an ambitious long shot that indeed wouldn't have been so far off the mark.
I thought that might happen when Alan Rough started coming with that ball instead of hoofing it down the park and getting back in there. If Kevin Keegan had just had a little bit more time, that would have been a goal.
And one of the most surprising and spectacular goals of the season as well. As it is, it's a goal kick for Scotland, leading by 2-1. Masson, a little touch there towards Dalglish, but in fact McFarland was there first. Kennedy fighting for the ball and just wins it for McFarland. Played here now for Trevor Cherry. Here's Jerry Francis for England. Taylor trying to make some sort of impact on Tom Forsyth and couldn't do it, and Tom Forsyth finds Archie Gemmill with a lovely pass. Here's Kenny Dalglish. Rioch. Dalglish. Masson's made a good run into the centre of that England defence. McGrain. Keegan after him, still McGrain. Dalglish. There's the centre going in. Joe Jordan's there. The header down again by Masson. Marking not very good again in that English defence. And Francis taking it away again. Todd. Shannon imploring that he be given a sight of the ball on this side of the field. Oh, that put McFarland in a bit of trouble. Couldn't help his injury. The Scottish tackling really is swift at Hampden Park this afternoon. And here's Gemmill. Played back to Rioch.
England aren't helping themselves very much here at the moment. They're insisting on playing these balls along the ground up with the front two without really putting the support in on it. They've got runners there and we're not using them at all and getting nowhere fast.
Todd, off Eddie Gray, England throw. Francis. Kennedy. And Mills playing it square to Phil Thompson. Something like 25 minutes to go now. Mills. Joe Jordan playing it for Bruce Rioch. McGrain. Dalglish, a little touch from McGrain, right through. Is this number 3? No, it's not, because Clemens did well there. 7 yards out of his goal like a flag. Jack?
Danny McGrain is a fullback, and it shows very much so here that he is a fullback. He didn't really have a clue what he was going to do with the ball when he got in that position.
Now Jordan. Keegan's header. Donachie, Masson, Jordan, and now McGrain. McFarland's header again, this time for McMills. Peter Taylor. Oh, McGrain fell headlong there. Taylor taking them on, but couldn't get it wide of Tom Forsyth. And Scotland can take it up again now with Masson. Francis. Keegan. Taylor's come wide. Now maybe he'll run at Bruce Rioch. No. Instead the pass to Francis. Shannon. Francis hard at it. Determination won that ball and found Trevor Cherry. Here's Todd. England got a lot of men forward now. Here's Shannon. A little touch there for Keegan and it very nearly came back to Shannon again. But Masson getting it away to Kenny Dalglish. Scotland's throw. Jordan. Dalglish. Rioch. Dalglish to McGrain. Jordan. Dalglish brought down by Cherry, free kick.
Scotland are really playing well at the moment, knocking the ball about, keeping possession, and still being effective in that build-up.
Well, now they've got this free kick. Rioch and Masson between them deciding something. Rioch, the number 6, chipping it through there, and it comes to Joe Jordan, played back for Archie Gemmill. Tried a little ball forward for Eddie Gray, but Todd now powering his way through there, finding Phil Thompson. Seem to have lost all ideas coming forward at the moment, England, Jack.
Yes, there's no change at all. If they build it up slowly, Scotland get everyone back behind the ball. If they go for quick things like that, they're playing the ball into space and there's no one going for it. They're coming off. Things just aren't happening for England at the moment.
Mike Shannon has just gone into the centre circle to have a word with Gerry Francis. I think he's taken some instructions from the bench. Jackson. Francis with the header. Keegan trying to busy himself again there to unsettle the Scottish defence, but they're taking some unsettling. But they've got a free kick, England, now. And they leave it for Gerry Francis to take. Roy McFarlane down, that's a bad sign. Referee coming across to him. I think there were doubts as to whether he really was 100% fit before this game. But with Brian Greenough injured in training, it was a risk Don Revie had to take. But it could well be, yes, Mike Doyle is already stripped off down there in front of the bench. And Don Revie giving him some instructions, which means that England will have used their 2 substitutes. There's no chance of Joe Royle coming on now and adding a bit of variety up front. Roy McFarlane comes off. The man who got England going so well, making that first goal, and Mike Doyle of Manchester City comes on. The man who won his first cap in the centenary game against Wales at Wrexham. A free kick to England. Francis. Headed away again by Jackson. Here's Mills. England planting a lot of men forward. Todd, in fact, was going in on a late run, but a goal kick to Scotland.
I've not been particularly impressed today with Mick Shannon, actually. You'd think he would learn about the running that's good for him, and yet all he's done is show for balls to be played to his feet all the time. And very few times has he come wide and made runs wide and had balls played into space for him.
Jordan, a lovely header. Todd allowing it to go through, sizing up the situation, deciding a short pass to Phil Thompson was the one that was on. Francis couldn't keep it in. Throw to Scotland. less than 20 minutes to go now. Scotland look as though they might be bringing Derek Johnson on. But England on the attack again now with Mick Shannon. Taken away by Forsyth. Jordan. Fair tackle there by Doyle, said the referee from Hungary. And now it's with Peter Taylor. Well, it came through to Kennedy. Hit well, but hit against Archie Gemmill. Kennedy again. Cherry shot. Shannon right in there. And now Kennedy on the far side, chipping it in again. Jackson got that header away. And now it'll come for Eddie Gray to play it forward for Donaghy. And a chance for Scotland to spring forward once more. Masson, the long ball forward. Joe Jordan is after it. And Todd playing it back to Ray Clements.
It'll be interesting to see who Willie Bowman brings off. Because Joe Jordan and Kenny Dalglish have done really well for Scotland up front. I think it may be Kenny Dalglish who's looking a little bit tired at the moment.
Francis to Taylor. Mick Mills for England. Taylor again. Lost his boot in the process and really hasn't stamped any authority on the game, and the whistle had gone.
Little Kevin Keegan, when he plays up front, relies so much when he plays in Liverpool on John Toshak for balls hit to the far post that he can get in on. Mike Shannon isn't this sort of player. He doesn't go for crosses in this way. So little Kevin's going to struggle a little bit because he's going to be the one to have to go for him.
Which is why it would have been much more interesting to have seen Joe Royle come.
This is what I would like to have seen, Joe Royle up front and pump a few balls into the box and see what Joe could win for us.
Here's Mills with the free kick for England. Mike Doyle going in on the far side. And headed away, though, by the Scottish defence, Colin Jackson. In fact, Ruff didn't come for that ball at all. Keegan. Short ball to Mills. No space. Goal kick.
Talking of Ruff, in fact, he's had very, very little to do all day. I can't remember him having to make a save in the game up to now, and certainly hasn't been bothered too much with any crosses, which says something about the England build-up anyway.
Minutes of the second half gone, 15 to go. Scotland leading 2-1. Doyle with a header. Kennedy. Doyle again. Thompson through to Francis. And Donaghy's good defensive play again. Getting Scotland on the move with Archie Gemmill. Back it comes again to Eddie Gray, and Gemmill involved with Trevor Cherry on that far side. And the referee, I think, will call Trevor Cherry to him. No, he's allowed the free kick to be taken, and here's Eddie Gray for Scotland. Don Masson taken by surprise with that pass. Gemmill chipped in once more to Dalglish. Free kick to England. I think it must have been Dalglish backing in on Paul Thompson. And in fact, it's Eddie Gray who's coming off. And big Derek Johnson coming on. Although the referee's attention hasn't been drawn to it yet.
I'm a bit surprised to see that he's bringing Eddie Gray up, because Eddie Gray's done a good job in holding Colin Todd from coming forward. And at this stage of the game, what Scotland don't want is one of the back people being able to come into the game at all.
Well, here's Keegan now for England. Again, the Scottish defence closing so quickly. A nice little chip there by Shannon for Taylor. Played back for Shannon again. But those blue defenders of Scotland really pouncing on England every time they come forward. Supporting each other well. Every sniff of danger, there seem to be two blue defenders there. Tackling and tackling hard and winning the ball. Kennedy now. Keegan right up front now. Really an afternoon of frustration for England, particularly up front. Doyle. Kimmel. Gray. Played on this time for Donaghy. That's not a bad cross either, but that time straight into the arms of Ray Clements. And still Derek Johnston waits to come on. Nice little header there by Kennedy, but again England finding no coordination up front at all. Little Keegan battling after everything though. Gray playing it forward again. Touch there by Jordan. Jack?
Well, let's take nothing away from Scotland's performance today. They've been very, very good. The back four have done magnificently. The midfield have worked and created things, and the front have done well. They would have given any team in the world a good game today, Scotland, on the performance.
Dalglish. Scotland's throw. And now the substitution can be made.
I think Colin Todd will breathe a sigh of relief now, because he'll see a lot more space in front of him than he's had in the game up to now. Eddie Gray did a wonderful job, not only is attacking for Scotland down that left side, but in stopping Colin Todd from coming into the space. He's worked very hard, Eddie, today.
Well, here's Johnston getting his first touch. Dalglish trying to play it back to him. And Trevor Cherry forced to concede the corner. Masson with the corner for Scotland. Floated again towards the near post. It was Kennedy's header that got it away. Here's Peter Taylor. The long ball forward now for Kevin Keegan. The whistle had gone. A look of pain on the face of Kevin Keegan. This will worry all Liverpool fans, remembering, of course, that Liverpool have got a UEFA Cup game final. Second leg against Bruges in Belgium on Wednesday night. Keegan is up and he's about his business again as Doyle plants his free kick forward. Here's Peter Taylor, trying to get a bit of change out of Danny McGrain. This time, there's the good cross there. Shannon was almost in there, wanting a corner, but the referee says no. Taylor, for once, getting past McGrain. Shannon getting in there with a header, a good clean header, and a goal kick. Well, that was certainly the nearest England have been to a goal in this second half. Misunderstanding there between Kennedy and Taylor. McGrain for Scotland. Kennedy, Doyle, Thompson, Todd. Kennedy. Plenty of blue shirts back. Here's Taylor again. Trying a long cross there, in fact towards the near post in the end, but Jackson was there and nodded away again for Scotland. That'll come for Shannon. Closely watched by Rioch. Free kick. Humped in the back there by Shannon. Made a bit of frustration showing there from Vic Shannon.
I think Bruce made a meal of that one, actually. It was a good time to have a little rest in the corner.
Well, we're inside the last 10 minutes. Johnston, no. Taylor, Thompson got his tackle in, but here's Dalglish. Real struggle there, a bit of wrestling between Dalglish and Doyle. Free kick to England. And now it's Todd. Scythe. Jackson right away. Doyle winning it well in the air for England. Now Donaghy. Oh, that's the ball that Cherries won, and now here's Taylor. Now can Taylor rifle one into that Scottish net? He can't, and he had a chance to. Mike Shannon in the distance there, you say, come on, keep at it. That really happening for England, though.
I thought Peter Taylor, when he was played through here from Cheratrey, would have really gone into the box with a bit of aggression, but he didn't really do anything aggressive at all. He just looked for a shot and hoped he would hit it and hit it right, and it was never that way.
Joe Jordan's header. And I wonder if it's significant. In the last 3 minutes, England have had a couple of half chances. Here's Taylor again, but he won't keep that in. Masson with a throw for Scotland. And another one. Well, he stole a good 10 yards there. Well, we're getting a real Hampden roar now. And why not? Their side have played like champions this afternoon. Here's Joe Jordan with the cross, but that time straight to the arms of Ray Clements. Now Francis. Shannon. McGrain just sticking out the foot there to get there first. And a free kick to England. And Jordan, absolutely no need at all to kick that ball away. Francis. Hills. Kennedy. So 5 minutes to go. Scotland still leading by 2 goals to 1. Shannon. And ball, they claim. And although the linesman kept his flag down, the referee, who really wasn't in a particularly good position to see it, said yes, it was. So a free kick to England. There aren't going to be many more moments like this when they can pressurise this Scottish defence. It's moments like this when they've really got to make it count. There's the wall. Taylor's chip. Nothing coming out of it. McGrain getting it away. Francis now to Mills. Kennedy's come wide. Mike Doyle's gone right up there into an attacking position. Phil Thompson back here now for England. Loading it in again and again, caught offside.
Scotland have played offside very well today. They've been able to do it because of the way England have played, playing balls up to Shannon and Keegan. Because the two centre-backs have been able to mark a man standing in front of them, and there's been no runners at all from the midfield. Significant that the goal came, the England goal, came from a run from midfield.
McGrain. Rioch. McGrain. Well, Scotland, a matter of 3 or 4 minutes away now from a victory over the old enemy. And not only a victory, but a very good and worthy victory, with, I would think, one of their best performances for many years against England. Here's Doyle. Kennedy. Taylor. Jordan. Now Francis for England. Well, he's gone past Gemmell. Here's the ball for Kennedy. Shannon is away on the outside. It's chipped in there, but that's no problem for Roth.
Good performance by Scotland. It's a pity they're going to win the game on a controversial goal, on a slip by a goalkeeper. They deserve the
Well, maybe they're not going to win it yet because Shannon is right through there. Great work by Forsyth. Tremendous piece of defensive play by Forsyth. Don Reevy's face tells everything there. He thought we'd snatched a winner for England out of nothing, but for the tremendous piece of defensive play by Forsyth. Well, now here's Kennedy. Left foot. Goal kick. Ironical, really, that it should have been Forsyth, the man who was criticised, the man who they felt really wasn't quite up to international play in the back four for Scotland against England. But was right through there. It was big Tom Forsyth who saved that day for Scotland. Almost a smile on the face of Willie Ormond on the right there. My goodness, he deserves to have a grin as broad as it can possibly be, because his team has performed so very well this afternoon. After going that goal down, taking the game by the scruff of the neck. Shannon trying to play it wide, but Todd really knocked to the floor there by Forsyth. Shoulder charge of the old-fashioned type. Dalglish, and again McMills getting in just as it seemed that Joe Jordan was on his way. Referee looking at his watch. Here's Peter Taylor. Francis now. The long ball swept to Ray Kennedy. It's going to be an afternoon of heartbreak for England, and particularly for their goalkeeper Ray Clements, because his terrible nightmare mistake. But it's going to settle this game as the ball goes back. Scotland have won it, and they've won the home international championship outright for the first time since 1967. The Scottish flags and banners are everywhere. Ray Clements, the goalkeeper of England, whose uncharacteristic bloomer early in the second half, poor man, he knows that it was his mistake that cost his side the game. And Scotland go out and applaud their crowd who have supported them, as a Scottish crowd always supports its side. Willie Ormond, the manager who has beaten England by 2 goals to 1. A really great day for Scottish football. A match they've won with style. A victory they thoroughly deserved. As I say, one of their best performances against England for many years, against an England side that had all the impetus of a good start and simply was unable to capitalise on it. There were question marks against certain positions in the England side, against the way they played. There wasn't one single question mark against the way Scotland played in a really memorable victory. Giving them the sort of rapturous welcome at that end that every man in a blue shirt deserves. Well, there are question marks for England as they now depart for 3 matches in America, but more important still, in June for a World Cup qualifying match in Finland. Archie Gemmill going out with the trophy that Scotland have won outright. Great moments these for Scottish football. A quick last word from Jack Charlton.
It's nice to see Scotland with that cup, actually. They deserved it. It's strange that all the times I've played for England in an international competition, we won that several times. I never saw it once. That's the first time I've ever seen it. And a good psychological moment for Scotland to wave it about.
So now we take a break, and after that break we get the verdicts from Lou Macari and Dave Sexton. Stay right with us.
Welcome back to Hampden Park. The cheers that you can hear on the ground and the waving of flags behind me indicate that Scotland have become the home international champions, as Brown has said, for the first time since 1967. Let's have a look at that home international table. 3 wins, albeit all matches played at home, but worthy wins, 6 points. England losing today, just those 4 points, 2 wins against Northern Ireland and Wales. Wales winning by a single goal last night against Northern Ireland, and Northern Ireland conceding 8 goals without any victory at all. Let's get impressions now of the second half from our 2 experts, our guests, Dave Sexton and Lou Macari.
Well, congratulations to Scotland. They thoroughly deserved their win. I thought we, that is England, were unfortunate in the sense that we brought on Trevor Cherry at half-time to staunch the flow in midfield, and just a few minutes afterwards, Scotland scored their second goal. And so we've now, just at the moment when we want to go forward, we've got a defensive player in midfield, so that was unlucky for us, and it could have gone the other way, and we could have scored the second goal.
Yeah, but the way Scotland were playing, I must say, they were always looking impressive in the second half. I mean, you'd forecast earlier, Lou, that you thought England might win by a single goal, so you must be very impressed.
Well, I'm delighted, obviously. They played tremendous, the team, you know, and they're worth watching. Whereas watching the England team, I can't see how people would pay money to go and see them. The Scotland team, everyone wanted to play, and there was a lot of flair there, individual ability. But the England team just seemed to be sort of static, nothing at all.
I must say, Scotland had the chances to take the lead, really, by half-time, and it was very much with a run of play when Scotland scored 3 minutes into the second half as a result of 2 very bad mistakes by the English defence.
Well, I don't think that's so much a bad mistake there. There's tremendous strength by Joe Jordan and speed, and a great run, and a really brilliant cross to Kenny Dalglish. And that's gone through Ray Clements' legs.
I mean, he'll dream about that mistake for the rest of his life, Dave, won't he, really?
It just goes to show it's always pays to get a shot off if you can, because even with the very best of goalkeepers, that sort of thing can happen.
Well, here it is.
And here's this tremendous run by Joe Jordan. And this was a really terrific pinpoint cross because he's running at top speed, which is nicely controlled by Dalglish. And he takes the full-back on, and there goes the shot. 999 times out of 1,000, it's saved.
Let me ask you this, Dave, very briefly, if I can. Remy really has problems. Don has his problems now. Just how do you think he can solve them?
Well, I don't think he's got too many problems. You know, the defence looks sound enough today. I think it's just up front, really, that in the first half we looked quite sharp when Pearson was playing well. We had a target man, but in the second half we didn't have a target man, whereas they had Joe Jordan, someone to play off. So if we can sort that out, I think we'll be okay.
But Jackie Charlton said, Lou, that this was a good enough side to play with any side in the world. You would agree with that?
Yes, on today's performance, Scotland played tremendous, and regardless of the result, that's what you look for. You look to see hope for the future. And as far as the World Cup's concerned, I think there's more hope for Scotland than there is for England.
That's a perfect note on which to end. Thank you very much indeed, Lou. Thank you very much, Dave. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back very soon with the headlines, the scores, the results, all the things you need. So don't go away. Welcome back to Hampden Park, and the one headline that matters as far as this country is concerned up here is that Scotland are the new home international champions, having beaten England by 2 goals to 1. The crowds are still here, the celebrations are going on, and they'll go long into the night, I feel sure. There might be the odd pint sipped in the city tonight. There's a beaming manager down there, Willie Orman, and he's now waiting to talk to Brian Moore.
Willie Orman, the man of the moment. You must have been proud of your side today, Willie.
Oh, I was very proud indeed. Very happy. For the team, and especially for these fans here, you know, they've deserved a break, and they got it today. I felt that we played a lot of good stuff, composed stuff. We didn't give England many chances. In fact, I felt in the second half they only won in the first minute and won in the last minute. And a good tackle by Tom Forsyth in the last minute saved the situation.
When you went a goal down, were you a bit worried?
No, I felt in the dugout that maybe it was a good thing in a way, because it just lifted our play a bit that we needed. Because we were being a wee bit casual in the middle of the field. I felt we were giving the ball away for nothing at times, but we stepped up a little bit and we got the goal when it mattered, you know, and we went on from there.
What aspect of it pleased you most today for Scotland?
Oh, I think I thought the two central defenders, Forsyth and Jackson, plus McGrain, Archie Gemmell, you know, I thought they
Name
were
them all.
fantastic. Well, really, you could name them all, really, because it was a team performance.
Willie, I've heard people say this is the best Scottish performance for the last decade.
I wouldn't agree this was the best performance. We had a lot of good performance previous to this, but it's the most satisfying one as far as I'm concerned.
Going to be hard to get your feet back on the ground again.
I think so. I think it will be.
Willie, very many congratulations for a marvellous performance. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Willie.
So the score, I need to hardly tell you, 2-1 for Scotland, and we can have a look at these three goals now as we return to the studio.
Played nicely there. Look at McFarlane's run here. And a chance to cross it in again towards Shannon. Goal! Jackson up there, number 5, number 8, Don Masson, Eddie Gray with his corner. Loaded in once more. And it's there! Scored by Masson! Long ball forward there, McFarlane versus Joe Jordan. And Jordan's got past him. Todd really coming back hard. And still he got it in there to Kenny Dalglish. Could be very interesting. Saved now! Between his legs a goal!
Well, that's the evidence. Well, now the rest of the headlines. Cricket, centuries for Mike Smith and Clive Radley of Middlesex and Chris Balderston of Leicestershire. Lawn tennis, Britain Sue Barker is beaten by the German champion Helga Mastov in the final of the Coca-Cola British Hardcourt Championships at Bournemouth. The score 5-7, 6-3, 6-2. Racing in the valuable Lock-in Stakes at Newbury, a 16-to-1 shot Source Boat is disqualified and placed last after being first past the post. The race goes to El Rastro at 9-2. Northern Treasure at 33-1 wins the Irish 2,000 guineas, and a William Hill client lands £10,000 on the ITV7. More details later, but now your Australian pools check, the score and no-score draws from Bob.
Australian score draws are number 3, Green Gully, number 5, Fern Tree, 22, Azuri, 31, Windsor, 44, Swan Athletic, 46, Bassendean, 48, Coburn, 51, Stirling, and 52, Belmore. The no-score draws, there's just one, number 6, Heidelberg.
And with those 9 score draws and 1 no-score draw, treble chance dividends will be very good. Claim by telegram if you have 23 or 24 points. Let's go back to the studio, this time to hear from Peter Scowcroft, the racing results, starting with the big race at Newbury, the Lock-in Stakes.
Yeah, first 7 El Rastro 9-2, 6 Dominion 8-1, 3 Ardoon 7-2. 3 o'clock, 6 Bow Dutch 16-1, 2 Great Baron 7-2, and 13 Wassar 4-1. 3:30, 7 Roy Fern 7-2, 10 Barnless 12-1, and 5 Briar Patch 5-4 favourite. 4 o'clock, 8 Michael Allen 15-8, 4 Coloured Cord 14-1, 11 On Your Knees 20-1. 3 o'clock from Thirsk, 11 Royal Banner, 11-2 joint favourite. 3 Barriel, 12-1, 18 Yellow Fire, 11-2 joint favourite. 3:30, 20 Let 'em Have It, 11-1, 11 Please Turn Over, 13-1, and 6 Glen Turk, 15-1. 4 o'clock, 8 The Old Pretender, 130 favourite. 18 Landscaper, 14-1, 13 Our Song, 8-1, and 4 White Wonder, 13-2. 2:45 Newcastle, 12 Claverings Cross, 20-1, 7 Byzantium, 6-4 favourite, and Tell Ballyboff, 14-1. 3:15 Fabrication, 15-2. 3:45 for Vimy Ridge, 5-2 on favourite, 1 Nutshell, 7-2, and 9 Flores, 33-1. 4:15, 7 Sea Urchin, 2-1, 27 Red Well, 33-1, and 3 Just a Minute, 5-4 on favourite. 2:45 Hereford, 5 Philidon, 7-2, 2 Mr. Reekin, 13-8 on favourite, and 4 Ross Royal, 7-2. 3:15, 7 Donnybrook, 7-2, 3 Marks Boy, 9-2, and 9 Scoundrel, 11-4. 3:45, 7 Otaki, 10-1, 2 King of Swing, 50-1, and 6 Sorbonne, 11-8. 4:15, 3 Just Jake, 11-8 on favourite, 2 St. Lo, 14-1, and 1 Farthingdale, 7-4. 4:45, 2 Wrongly Down, 2-1 favourite, 13 Garamond, 16-1, 4 Rolia, 12-1. Irish 2,000 guineas, 350 from the Curragh, 10 Northern Treasure, 33-1, 4 Comaran, 2-1 favourite, 8 Lucky Wednesday, 20-1. Jackpot news from Newbury. The pool £2,372, 45 pence paid on the full 6 legs, 5 winning tickets. ITV 7 total there to 10 pence, of course, £5,281, 20 pence.
And that total of £5,281 and 20p was doubled by a lady living in Strefford in Manchester. She had a 20p stake and picked up over £10,500. We've heard from the winning manager, Willie Ormond. Let's get a reaction now from Don Revie. Again, he's with Brian Moore.
Don, I gather Archie Gemble's just come into the England dressing room and has said, what was it?
He thought we played really well in the second half. He said he thought the least we deserved was the draw. And I felt this. Personally, in the second half, I was quite pleased with the team's performance. Scotland had 1 or 2 chances early on. We got a good goal through Mick Channon. And then we had a defensive mistake by letting little Don Masson come in from the corner kick and score with a header. And then Ray Clements is really upset because it's very seldom he lets goals like they're win.
Must have been once every 10 years he does that.
That's all. He said there's many, many times, and I've told him to forget all about that one, that goalkeepers let things like that in occasionally.
But knowing how professional you are, you can't be totally satisfied with that England performance today, presumably.
Well, you're never satisfied with any performance, Brian. I think even if you're playing really well as a team and winning matches, you're always looking for improvement. But I felt when we lost Roy McFarlane and we lost Stuart Pearce in the first half, the second half, I thought that we possibly deserved the draw. As I say, you're never satisfied. I don't suppose Willie will be satisfied with his performance, but that's how football goes.
Yeah. But I mean, you've obviously got a lot of work to do now between now and Finland.
No, I don't think we should panic and start rocking the boat. I think we should just keep working on the same pattern, and these lads at least the battling had a go, and I thought a little bit of pattern and shape there, and we were patient. And 1 or 2 little breaks, we might have snatched the draw, but we'll work in the 3 matches in America and then try and get right for Finland.
Good. Let's hope it does go right for Finland, Don. Thanks very much for coming out.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you, Don.
Don Revie there talking to Brian Moore. Well, now cricket, and 2 century makers helped Middlesex pile up a mammoth total in the Benson and Hedges game against Minor Counties East at Lords. Opener Mike Smith lost his partner Mike Brearley with only 5 runs scored. 52 overs later, the innings closed at 258 for 4, with Smith out for 105 and Clive Radley unbeaten on 121. Their second wicket partnership added 204 and included 108 runs raised in the 19 overs before lunch. The Minor Counties are 78 for 1 after 28 overs. Surrey fell away after a promising start against Kent at Canterbury. Alan Butcher scored 61, his 3rd half century in succession, and he put on 109 for the first wicket with John Edridge. They finished 199 for 6, and after 17 overs, Kent were 45 for 1. An unbeaten century by Leicestershire's Chris Balderston helped the cup holders to a total of 254 for 4 against Worcestershire at Leicester. Balderston hit 100 exactly, not out. In the tour game at Southampton, Hampshire were all out for 152 against the West Indians. Let me just repeat the tennis story. Defeat for Britain's Sue Barker in the women's singles final of the Coca-Cola British Hardcore Championships at Bournemouth. After winning the first set against the West German champion Helga Masthoff, she lost the next 2 to go down 5-7, 6-3, 6-2. And Mrs. Masthoff takes the first prize of £2,000. Motor racing, and world champion Niki Lauda of Austria has won pole position in his Ferrari for tomorrow's Belgian Grand Prix at Zolder. His teammate Clay Regazzoni of Switzerland will join him on the starting line. Britain's James Hunt in a McLaren had the 3rd fastest time. And we just about come to the finish of it all. The birds are flying over Hampden Park. The ground is almost empty now. There's wreckage all over the ground inside, bottles and bits of paper, but it's been a great day for Scotland. Next week, we'll be back in the studio. We'll be starting at 12:30 again. We have ice hockey.